Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. So let's find a comfortable seat. And of course, if you've got stuff going on in the hips or the knees or anything that doesn't feel comfortable sitting in Sukhasana, you don't have to sit in Sukhasana. You can sit with a leg out, both legs out. You find a place where you can be comfortable. And if you feel any discomfort in your hips or your knees, you can always bring your seat a little bit higher. So on a blanket or even a block. So we never want to force the hips open. And once you find your seat, start to feel your sitting bones into the earth. And there's this sense of extension energetically from the sitting bones into the earth. And when you feel that extension, the spine naturally finds some length. And we're not over-efforting here, we're just connecting to our seat, connecting to the earth, which allows the sense of spaciousness and length in the spine. Relax your shoulders, relax your tongue. We're going to do a twisting practice this morning with lots of options as always, so that you can cater the practice to where you are this morning on your mat, which might be different than yesterday and different than tomorrow. With a focus, since we're twisting today and focusing on the twist, thinking about your navel moving into the spine on exhale. And this happens naturally as we breathe. And we're just going to take a few breaths and maybe even bringing your hands to your belly and just let your belly go. Let your shoulders stay relaxed. You can have one hand or both hands. And leaving the belly very relaxed, just breathe. And you may sense a gentle expansion as you inhale into the belly. And there's a toning on exhale. This happens all day long when we breathe. And so if you have that sense, and if you don't, it's okay. It'll come during the course of your practice. On your next exhale, just invite the belly to come in a little bit more with a little bit more intention. So you get the sense of navel moving into the spine, and we want to really focus on this today as we move into our twisting practice. Just taking a few more breaths here. Notice if you're over-efforting, bringing tension into the shoulders or the throat, the tongue, let it all go. Good, and then on your next exhale, just releasing that awareness, let your breath adjust. Release your chin towards your heart. Gently blink your eyes open and lift your head. And if you didn't feel that, straighten your legs out in front. If you didn't feel that expansion into the belly, bring your hand to the top of your right leg. Just get your right leg moving back and forth. That's okay. And I misspoke. The breath isn't always in the belly, right? If you're in fight or flight, or if you're super stressed, we've all felt it. Switch sides. You kind of chest breathe, through your mouth and kind of feel that tension through the upper chest. But we want to try and bring the breath down as best we can. Good, and then cross your right leg over your left, interlace fingers and toes, shake hands with your foot. And when we bring the breath down, it taps into this digest and rest parasympathetic nervous system. Calms the mind and the body. And it's a healthier breath. Just tuning into your breath now, noticing how it may shift or change as we open the feet. Separate your fingers nice and wide. Remove your fingers. Draw your foot towards you. Press your foot away, and then holding your foot. Give each toe some attention. A little twist and turn, opening up the joints of your toes. Once you finish working your toes, we'll massage the foot out, working on the ball of your foot. And eventually making your way around your foot anywhere that feels like it needs a little extra TLC. Eventually coming back up to the big toe side and little toe side of your foot. Hold your foot and give your foot a good shake out here. And we'll rub the foot out. And switch over to the other side, crossing left over right, now interlacing fingers and toes on the left foot, always being gentle as you open up your feet. Which knee is bothering you? Right. And it's your left hip, right?
Right,
both rights. Okay, two rights.
Which is your left.
No, please don't. I have enough trouble mirroring and zooming, and I've given up on the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
Separate your fingers nice and wide. Remove your fingers, draw your foot towards you. Press your foot away, and then holding your foot, giving your toes some attention. Opening up the joints of your toes. Good, and then massaging your foot out, working from the center of the ball of your foot out to the big toe side and little toe side of your foot. Spend some time on the ball of your foot, and then we'll make our way around the foot. Coming back up to the big toe side and little toe side of your foot. Hold onto your foot. Give your foot a little shake out. Yeah. And then rub your foot out and try that. Find our tennis ball and roll out our feet. And just tuning into maybe a deep breath coming in when you don't expect it. Recognizing that all this work on the feet opens up the breath. Switch over to your other side. And then we'll stay with the tennis ball. If you're up on a blanket or a towel, come off. Sit with your legs straight out in front. We're going to open up our seat here. A little flexion in the feet. Feel how the back of your legs are to the earth, and then lean to your left. Find your right sitting bone. You're going to sit right on top of the tennis ball with this bone. It's going to feel lopsided. Press into your hands and shift your hips from left to right. We're staying on the right side, or whichever side you've got the tennis ball. Doesn't matter. Just letting the tennis ball come to the inside and the outside of your sitting bone. If this is uncomfortable for your wrists, you can bring your books or your blocks underneath and make your arms a little bit longer. Good, and we're going to stay on the right side. Bend your knees a little bit and then scoot your butt towards the front of your mat. The tennis ball is going to come into the feet of your glute. Come over your right sitting bone and into the back of the leg where the hamstring resides. Breathe. Good, and then we'll shift back just enough so the tennis ball is in front of your right sitting bone. You're not sitting on it now, it's just wedged up against the bone. Straighten your right leg, bring your hand to the top of your right leg and just get your leg moving back and forth here. Relax your face, relax the thumb. Breathe. And then we'll take the tennis ball out and sit. Close your eyes for a second, pause, and just notice the difference between your right and your left side. Maybe in the neck, the shoulders, definitely in the back of the legs. Good, and we'll do the other side. First, sitting on the tennis ball, pressing into your hand, shifting left to right a couple times. And then bend your knees, come front to back. Staying nice and relaxed in your face. Letting the tennis ball come into the meat of your glute, right over the sitting bone and into the back where the hamstrings reside. Good, and then we'll shift back just enough so the tennis ball is in front of your left sitting bone this time. Straighten your left leg. Hand comes to the top of your left leg and get your left leg moving back and forth once again. Nice and relaxed in the leg. Good, and then take your tennis ball out and sit. You can move it off to the side. Just going to take a little bit of movement here before coming onto our backs. If you'd like, you can come back onto a blanket. Any position for your legs here. Sweeping arms up. Nice deep breath. You can sit in Sukhasana if that's more comfortable. Just find a spot where you can take a few breaths here. Reconnect with the earth. Feel your sitting bones breathing down energetically as you lift up and free the spine. Good. 2 more. Good. Let's keep arms up. Interlace the fingers. Reach your palms up. Press down to lift out the waistline and maybe reach through one heel of the hand and then the other, coming into your side body a little bit. Relax the face. Keep the jaw soft. Good, and then we'll reach way, way out. Hands come behind the back, either to the floor or interlace hands behind your back. Reach your knuckles straight back behind you. The idea here is to draw the shoulder blades towards one another. So you can do that whether the hands are interlaced or not. Deep breath into the heart center. Good, and then release. Roll your shoulders out, shake your legs out, give them a little pound out. We're going to come onto our backs and spend a little time opening up the hips and coming onto the backs for the next few exercises. So maybe put a little blanket underneath your head and then make your way down to the floor. Good. So again, reconnect with the earth here. Feel nice and supported. Whole back body is soft and relaxed. Knees bent, feet on the floor, guys. Good. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Cross your right ankle onto your left thigh. Right ankle comes onto left thigh. Take a deep breath here as you exhale. Let your legs drop over to the left. So the legs are dropping to the left. Feel that stretch into the right side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. Yep, that's it. And then we're going to do 2 more, same direction. Exhale to the left. Maybe the foot comes to the floor, maybe not. Last one. Good, and then hold here. So you're twisted to the left. You may already be feeling a stretch into the right side of the body. If you want to take this a little deeper and you can find the top of your right foot, maybe you start to pull. Don't do this one, Terry. Pull your right foot closer to your left armpit and then reach your right hip away from you. You're going to feel a deep stretch into the right side of the waistline. Take a breath, or 2, or 3. Good. Release if you've got the foot and let the legs come back up. Bring your right foot to the floor. Pause here and settle. Maybe separate your feet wide and windshield wiper the knees just to release that. It's a big stretch. And then we'll come into the other side. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Feel softness in the back body, nice and connected to the earth. And on an exhale, crossing left ankle onto right thigh. I've got my left foot flexed a little bit here just to protect the knee. On an exhale, drop everything over to the right. Your left shoulder comes up off the floor, it's okay. Come back to center. 2 more. On exhale, start to feel navel moving into the spine here as we're twisting. So this is our first twist we're taking this morning. Good. Exhale, navel to spine and hold here. Let your body settle into the twist. And then optional to find the top of your left foot now. Maybe draw it closer to your right armpit as you move your left hip away. So I'm really feeling a big stretch into the whole left side of my body here. Take a few breaths here now as you stretch and breathe. Really directing the breath into the left side of the body. Good, and then release, come on back up to center. Both feet come to the floor. Draw your knees into your heart, hug your knees into your heart, maybe circle the knees. We're lubricating the hip joint here. If you're going in one direction, reverse it the other way. Reversing your knee circles. And then we're going to draw the right knee into the heart as you extend your left leg along the floor. Right knee comes into the heart, left leg along the floor. The left leg can rest on the floor. As you exhale, draw your right knee in a little bit deeper into the body. On the inhale, soften out. Exhale, draw it in. Good, and then release, extend your leg up towards the ceiling. Right leg is straight now. And you can have your hands on the leg anywhere. It could be on the back of the thigh, could be on the calf, maybe the foot, but that's a pretty big stretch so early in our practice. We're going to come into a little crunch here. Inhale, as you exhale, find where you're holding the leg and pull the leg towards you as you lift the head and crunch. Tuck your chin, inhale, soften. Exhale and little crunch. If this doesn't feel good for your neck, skip the head lift and the shoulder lift. Just draw the leg in. Last one. Pull and crunch. Good. Draw the knee back into the heart. Bring the left leg in. We're going to switch that. So now the right leg extends along the floor. Take a little pulse or two here on the exhale, drawing the left knee in now. As you inhale, soften out. Good. Do one more before extending the leg. Good. Now left leg extends up towards the sky. The leg doesn't have to be straight. It can be bent if it's uncomfortable for a full straight leg. Good. And we'll do those little crunches. Inhale here. Exhale, pull the leg. Maybe lift the head and shoulders. Maybe not. Inhale, lower. Exhale, draw it in. Navel to spine. Last one, inhale. And then exhale, draw it in. Good, release. Bring the left knee in, bring the right knee in. A few more circles here. We're going to make our way up into our boat pose. So you can rock and roll up to boat, maybe take a few spinal rolls here to release your spine. If this doesn't feel good, you just roll onto your side and come on up into boat pose. So this is our boat pose. Hands can be underneath the legs. If this is too intense, you can have both feet on the floor and leaning back. We're going to have a couple different options with this one, guys. So you might just stay here and hold. You might keep one leg up and then switch. If you're going to come with me, we're going to pulse this. So if you're coming with me, inhale, draw the feet towards one another, lift your heart. As you exhale, interlace the fingers, release your pointer fingers, and lower on the exhale. Good. Inhale, come up. So you don't have to do this one. You can just hold your boat. Exhale and lower. Tuck your chin. Good. 3 more. Navel to spine. Exhale. We're really coming into the core here. Inhale. Good. 2 more. Or was it 1? I love these. Good. Last one. Good. And then hold if you're with me. Hold, 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 and release. Everybody come down. Relax. Draw your knees into your heart. One more hug in here. Maybe row your boat. And we're going to come on to tabletop pose. So again, you can just come on to the side and come up to hands and knees or roll up onto hands and knees. We're going to be here for a little while. If you'd like, you can bring a blanket for underneath your knees. And I'm going to bring my blocks up too because we'll be using them later. Good, so just getting yourself set up. Put my hair back up so I'm not flopping around. Good, so from your tabletop pose, start to find some movement, just any type of organic movement, maybe a cat-cow, yep, that's a Terry. Maybe in and out of child's pose, balasana, just finding some movement into your spine. Taking a few more breaths here. Good, and then we'll meet neutral here on hands and knees, tabletop pose. Coming into some strengthening, again, a little bit of core here. This is really good for your back. Float your right leg up, reach it straight back behind you, toes on your right foot pointing down towards the floor. And you can stay here if this is enough. If you feel solid and strong, floating the left arm up, palm of your left hand is facing to the right. If you feel wobbly here, bring a little bit more awareness into your left foot, which is onto the floor. That'll help keep you steady. Good, really reach the fingertips, reach through the bottom of the foot. Inhale here as you exhale, round to bring your elbow to your knee. Good, inhale, extend. Navel to spine, exhale. Last one, inhale, reach. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, reach. And then bring hand and knee down. Take a little child's pose, adjust. Just giving your wrists a break. We'll come into the other side. Back to your tabletop, nice neutral spine, guys. Left leg lifts up, toes on your left foot pointing down towards the floor. And then again, floating the right arm up. So as we start to move through this series, everything is optional. You can just stay with the leg lifted and hold. You're still getting core work here, still strengthening the spine. Good, if the right arm is lifted, reach it away, spread your fingers wide, and here comes our 3 little crunches. Inhale, exhale, round and squeeze. 2 more. Good, inhale, reach, and then release, child's pose, come on down. I'm going to come back up to tabletop and back to the right side and add one more piece here. Floating right leg up. Remember, you can just stay here if this is enough for you this morning. Otherwise, left arm lifts. Really reach, and optional here to start to bend into your right knee. Sweep your left arm around and find the top of your right foot. I'm pressing my foot into my hand. If you've got the foot, maybe start to open up, drawing your left shoulder blade onto the back of your body. So again, a little twist here. Breathe. Relax your face. Good. And then release, extend. Come to hands and knees. We're going to come right into the other side, guys. Left leg lifts, toes on the left foot, point straight down. Remember, you can just stay here or stay here, arm extended. If you want to go for the foot, start to bend the left knee. Find the top of your left foot, maybe, with your right hand. If you don't have it, then just stay in the first variation or second variation. Press into your foot, press into your hand, and then optional to start to roll the right shoulder blade onto the back body. Breathing here. Feel navel moving into the spine. On exhale, we're twisting big. We're using our core. Good, and release. Nice work, guys. Take a child's pose. Let it go. When you're ready to move, we'll find downward facing dog, and take your time as you come into downward facing dog, turning your toes under, shifting your hips back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Even here in downward facing dog, you can think navel to spine. On exhale, this will support your low back. Good. From your downward facing dog, let's come forward to high plank, shoulders over wrists. Reach through your heels. Your knees can be up or down here, depending on, again, where you want to be this morning. If you want a gentler practice, knees come down. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. We'll just do two more of these. Inhale to your plank. Navel to spine as you exhale, downward facing dog. Last one, come forward to plank. Your choice here, you can lower down knees, chest and chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Come all the way down onto your belly, point your toes, little baby cobra. Good, elbows tight into the body. Squeeze them in. Yes, that's it, Terry. Do a couple more of these. So just lifting the chest, little baby cobra, using the spine here to lift the body. Good, take it back, downward facing dog. From your dog pose, come up really high onto your tippy toes. Separate your feet a little bit so they're at least hip width distance apart. And you're going to drop both heels over to the right. So both heels coming over to the right. Bend into your right knee and keep the left leg straight if you can. Come onto your left fingertips and peek underneath your left armpit. So another side body stretch here, guys. Really reach your left hip back. Feel that stretch into the whole left side of your body. Breathe. Good, and then switch. So we're coming back up to dog, tippy toe dog. And now the heels, both heels drop over to the left. This time you're bending deep into the left knee, keeping the right leg straight, coming up onto the right fingertips. And as you exhale, turn and look underneath the right armpit. Breathe. Draw your right hip back. Good, come back to your dog pose. You can come down and rest here or come through a flow or two if you want to come through your vinyasa. Find your version of your flow. When you feel complete in your flow, we'll meet in child's pose. I'll watch you guys here in the studio and at home. No rush. Take your time as you move. Eventually, finding your child's pose. So Marcia, I know you're using a chair. If you're up on your chair and you're standing instead of on the floor, child's pose is just coming through here and folding forward. So we're just getting a nice forward bend, either while you're on the floor or on your chair. Good, yogis. Let's inhale to fours. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to your hands into your forward fold, Uttanasana. So if you're using a chair, you can just walk up and hold the back of your chair here in a forward fold, or in a full forward fold, letting the head go. But feel your feet into the floor. Inhale, slide your hands halfway up the legs. Exhale, navel to spine as you fold. Good, let's do 4 more. So pulsing here, inhaling, coming halfway up, exhaling and folding. Same thing if you're on the chair. You're lifting up and then folding to where you're comfortable in your forward fold. Good, when you finish your last one, stay in your forward fold. Optional to come into a shoulder stretch, bring your hands behind your back, maybe reach your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Really let your head go, bending into the knees generously here. And then releasing the hands back down before slowly coming on up to your mountain pose. Good, as you come up to your mountain pose, feel your feet into the floor. Good, guys, just getting the arms moving here. Inhale, sweep up. Sorry, I need to adjust the screen here. On the exhale, lower everything back down. That's better, good. Good, just moving through the arms here, sweeping them up. Good. We're going to come into our Utkatasana chair flow this morning. Good, so let your arms come by your sides. Pausing here, I'm going to turn to the side. Feet are hip-width distance apart and parallel. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, take a seat into your chair. And so I'm sitting down, trying to keep the arms in line with the ears. If that doesn't feel good, arms can be parallel to the floor. Hands can be on the hips, and you don't have to come as deep as I am. Maybe you're here in your chair. Inhale now, come halfway over. Now I'm reaching my sitting bones way back. Again, arms can be extended or hands on the hips. On an exhale, fold forward. Soften your knees, let your head go. We're going to reverse this back out, half chair, sitting back. Press into your feet, lift your chest off your thighs, knees stay bent to chair. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lower the arms. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale. Find your breath, navel to spine. Inhale halfway. On your exhale, fold. Reverse it back, sit back, half chair. To your chair. Press up. And lower down. Last one, yogis, sweep it up. Halfway over. And fold. Make sure you let the head go. Let's reverse it back, half chair. Chest floats off the thighs to chair. Press all the way up. And then lower the arms. Good. Settle here for a moment. We're going to come back into our chair pose and add a twist. Finding your feet into the floor. Sweep arms up. Inhale. Exhale into your chair. Now when I twist in chair, I do bring my knees and my feet a little closer together. You might keep them hip-width distance apart. Find what feels best for your hips, for your knees. Bring your hands to the heart center. On your inhale, lengthen the spine, lean forward a little bit, and as you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So you can either bring your elbow to the outside of the left leg. If this is too much of a twist, let it rest in between the knees. Before you come deep into the twist, take a look at your knees. Your knees should be lined up. So your left knee is going to want to kind of poke out, try to keep the knees in line. And now find your twist. So I'm twisting big now to the left. Keep thinking navel to spine on exhale. Try and be happy about this. And then optional, you can stay here or open the arms up. This is a little bit more intense. Sit back. Right arm up towards the ceiling, left arm towards the floor. And I'm using my left arm to twist my heart even deeper up towards the sky. One more nice breath here. And now release out of the pose into your forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Walk it back. You can hold here, come through a round of flow if you like, or rest in child's pose. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. As you come into your dog pose, again, you can stay in child's pose and breathe for 3 more breaths. After your 3rd breath, we're going to make our way back to the top of our mat, walking your feet up, bending your knees as much as you need to come into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press down into the earth, come all the way up. Palms together, over heart center. Pause here. Relax your shoulders, find your breath. That's a big twist. Good, coming into the other side, yogis. Sweep up, find your chair, exhale into chair pose, Utkatasana. Here comes our twist. Hands come to heart center. As you inhale, lengthen, exhale, and twist. Again, I'm not coming really deep. I'm just finding my knees where they need to be. Maybe the elbow is in between the knees instead of on the outside of the left leg. And then once I have my twist, now I start to press my palms together and draw them towards the heart center to Increase the twist a little bit more, thinking navel to spine on exhale. And then optional to open the arms up, using your right arm into the left leg to increase your twist. Stay here, 2 more breaths. Good, nice work, guys. And release, forward fold. Whew. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Find your flow. Knowing that it's optional to come through your vinyasa. This time we'll meet in child's pose and take a rest. Take your time getting there. If child's pose doesn't feel good on the floor, you can use your chair. Separate the feet wide and fold in between your legs for a nice forward fold. Good. We're going to transition back to the top of our mat. Inhale to tabletop. Find downward facing dog. Taking a breath or two here, feeling the pose in the body before walking your feet up to your hands. Meet back in our forward fold, Uttanasana, soft knees here. Halfway lift and fold. Coming all the way up, palms together, over heart center. Good, relax your arms, separate your feet, swing it out. How we doing?
Good.
Great, good, okay, good. Stevie in here again today.
Yeah. I thought it was just
Feels
me.
good on my shoulder. Okay, guys, we're gonna come into another flow. This is gonna be interesting. We'll see how this goes. Zoom, chair, live. Why not? Good, okay, so come to the top of your mat. Marcia, if you're using your chair, you're gonna be facing your chair. Everybody else come to the top of your mat. Good, sweep arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, soft knees, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sweep all the way up. Half sun salutation, exhale and fold. Halfway lift and fold. Let's come out to the sides all the way up. Good, last one, exhale. Halfway lift and fold. Come all the way up. Adding on now, exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Take it back, downward facing dog. Dog pose can be here if you're using your chair. Otherwise, come all the way down, downward facing dog. Good, float your right leg up, reach it straight back behind you. Bend your knee and open the hip. We're taking a nice breath here, feeling some extension through the top of the right thigh. Good, and then square your hip. Inhale here. As you exhale, step your right foot forward. We're finding our lunge now. Right knee is directly over your right ankle. So if you can't get the right foot up, bring your back knee down to the floor and drag your foot, kicking and screaming, to the front of your mat. If you're using your chair, you're here in your lunge, or here in your lunge. Good, so finding your lunge pose, guys. Back knee can be up or down here. Yep, that's fine. Perfect, Terry. Even though the knee might be down, you're still finding this extension. So I'm thinking about drawing the energy of my right shin towards the front of my mat as I reach my left heel back, or just find that extension through the pelvis. Feeling the hip opening up. Optional to float the arms up, maybe one arm, maybe the other. Breathe here. Good, and then release the hands back down. We're going to come into a twist. Bring your hands or your block to the inside, just one hand, of your right foot. Bring your right hand to your hip and twist. So Marsha, you can actually sit on your chair and twist from the chair if that feels better than finding a twist in the lunge. Maybe float your right arm up. Good, release, come out of the lunge, or the twist, I should say. Bring your back knee down to the floor. Notice if this is uncomfortable for the knee. If it is, then pause for a second and find your blanket. I'm going to find my blanket. Now your left knee's down to the floor. We're going to do a little pulse here. Keep the ball of your right foot on the floor. As you exhale, shift the hips back. Ball of the right foot stays on the floor for this first round. Good, come back in. Exhale, shift it back. And we're opening up the hamstring a little bit here, keeping the ball of your right foot into the floor. Nice, guys. Good, last one. Now you can let the toes lift on the right foot. I'm really flexing my right foot towards my right knee. Maybe hold here, maybe fold over the front leg. Good, walking yourself back. We're going to come into a low lunge, guys. Starting with the back knee down, walk both hands or blocks to the inside of your right foot and walk your right foot out towards the right edge of your mat. You might stay here, so Terry, I would just stay here. This is enough a hip opener for you. Or you can start to come down onto maybe the elbows. The hips are really open. Maybe you have the elbows onto the floor. Or maybe you have your blocks up here at a higher setting and you're resting here. There's lots of options. Or the arms can just be straight. Good. Let's take 5 breaths here, guys. Feeling the stretch not only in the right hip, but the top of the left thigh. Good, we're gonna find our twist again. We haven't done a twist in a little bit. So start to come out of the pose. Your hands can stay on your block. This time my right hand is on the block. I'm gonna start to bend into my left knee. And I'm wiggling my knee a little bit to try to get more to the top of the knee. So if you feel like you're right on the tip of the knee, skip this part, don't lift the leg. Sweep your left arm up, reach back, and maybe find the top of your left foot. So if you can't find the left foot or the leg is resting on the floor, you can let the left leg rest on the floor and just twist to the left. Good, so find your spot. Again, if you're working with the chair, you can be sitting on the chair and finding the shape, finding this twist from your chair. Draw your left shoulder blade onto the back of your body. Navel to spine on exhale. 2 more breaths here. Stay with it. If you've got your foot, draw the left foot in towards your butt. Stretch the front of the quad. Good, and we're gonna release. If you've got the foot, slowly come out. Walk your right foot in. We've been here for a while. Nice work, guys. Take it back. Downward facing dog, walk it out. Pedal the feet. Optional to come through a round of flow. Hold in downward facing dog or rest in child's pose. I'm just gonna watch you guys. So when I see you coming into stillness, I'll switch to the other side. Good, let's inhale to fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time the left leg lifts up, reach it straight back, and then float it high, bend and open the left hip. This should feel good after that deep stretch. Good, square the hip. Inhale here, exhale, step your left foot forward, find your lunge. Again, if you're using your chair, you've got the seat of the chair facing you, and you find your lunge here. Or again, the back knee can be down for the lunge, whether you're using a chair or not. That's good, guys. And so we settle into the lunge here, either the back knee is up or down. And then optional, maybe floating one arm up, maybe the other. Maybe you just alternate. Breathing here. Good. If the arms are lifted, bring them back to your blocks. We'll release the back knee down. Preparing for that pulse. This time the left foot, the ball of your left foot's going to stay glued to the floor. On an exhale, shift your hips back. Keep the ball of foot. Your toes can lift, but keep the ball of your foot into the floor. Inhale back to your low lunge. Good. Exhale, shift back. Good, next time you shift back, you can let the toes on your left foot come up. Draw your toes towards your knee. You might be here and just holding and breathing. This is pretty intense. Keep flexing the foot or fold over your front leg, letting your head go. Good, let's come back up into our low lunge. Here comes that deeper release. Start to walk your left foot out, bringing your hands or your blocks to the inside of your left foot. And then again, finding your low lunge here. It might be different on this side. You might just be here. Maybe you come down onto the elbows or the floor. Notice where your head is. So you shouldn't be looking back behind you. Your head and neck and spine should be fairly neutral, in line with one another. I'm looking straight down at the floor as opposed to behind me towards my belly button. Find your breath. Did we do a twist on the first side?
Yeah.
We did? Okay. I thought so. I'm going to add it in. We'll add it in after we do this big stretch. Good. Slowly start to come up. We keep the hands to the inside of the left foot. And here comes that bend into the right knee now. Your back legs start to bend. Again, if you're on the tip of the knee, don't bend the knee. Just keep the leg down on the floor. If you've got the knee bent or the leg straight, you can sweep the arm up and find the top of your right foot. And breathe. If you've got the foot, press your foot into your hand. Draw your right shoulder blade onto the back of the body. Sink a little bit deeper into your left hip. And breathe. And we're so happy about this. You've got the foot now. Draw it towards your glute. Coming into a big quad stretch here. Still breathing. And then slowly, don't let the foot slingshot, release. Walk your left foot back. We're going to come into that twist that I missed at the beginning. Bring your block or your hand to the inside of your left foot, coming up into a straight leg lunge, or you can keep your knee on the ground. Left hand comes to your hip and then twist. So we find our twist here to the left. Feel open, expansive through the heart center. And then release, downward facing dog. Take it back. Nice work, guys. Settle your breath. Optional to come through a round of your flow. We'll find child's pose. We're going to meet in child's pose and just take a little breather. Take your time. I'm going to watch you guys, so no rush in your flow. Strong practice this morning, eventually finding your child's pose. Again, if you're using a chair, you can just sit on the edge of the chair and fold forward. Good. Good. From your child's pose, draw your knees and your feet together. If you're sitting on the chair, you can draw the knees and feet together. And we're just going to stay in this forward fold. If your head doesn't quite find the floor, maybe you bring your forehead to a block. If you're in your chair, don't worry about the forehead touching the knees. So we're finding this little bud shape, this little bug shape. On your inhale, come up onto your knees. So stand up onto your knees, sweep your arms out by your sides, sweep the arms up. You're doing the same thing from your chair. You're lifting up, sweeping arms up, palms touch. As you exhale, reverse this back out and find your little seed pose here, little bug pose. Good. Inhale, up onto the knees, arms sweep out to the sides, maybe look up. Exhale and fold. We're just going to do this a few more times. A lot of work into the hips this morning. We're just taking a little pulse here. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the hips and spine. Good. Let's do 3 more. Coordinating movement with breath. Good, and then we'll pause here, forehead to the floor, to your block, relax your arms. We'll come back into our wide leg child's pose. Bring your knees super wide apart and really let the belly go here. Walk your hands out away from your body. If you're in your chair, you've just got the knees nice and wide, letting yourself fold forward. Inhale here as you exhale, tippy-toe your fingertips to the left. So walk your fingertips to the left. You're up on the tips of your fingers and draw your right hip back. Good, come back to center. And then on an exhale, you'll walk fingertips over to the right. This time the left hip draws back behind you. Another side body stretch, guys. Good, come back to center. Inhale to forest tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take it back, come on up. Just be here for a moment. If you're using your chair, your hands can be on the chair, walking the feet back so you get a nice stretch into your spine. Walking your feet up to your hands into your forward fold, Uttanasana, softly. Halfway lift and fold. Let's come all the way up. Palms together over heart center. Good. Shoulders relaxed here. Settle. We've got one more flow. Make sure you have your blocks towards the front of your mat. You're using your chair. You're going to flip your chair so that the seat is away from you. Good, and then coming to the top of your mat. Feet hip width distance apart and parallel, sweeping arms up, inhale. Just bring the arms down by your sides, exhale. Good, last one, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, hands on the chair or to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. I want you guys to walk it back, downward facing dog. Float your right leg up, reach it straight back behind you, bend your knee, open your right hip. We've been here before. Good, then square the hip and on an exhale, step your right foot forward, find your lunge. So you're either here in your lunge with your hands on the chair, or if you're using your blocks, right foot forward, we're finding our lunge. We're gonna come into another twist, guys. Bring your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Bring your left hand to the inside of your right foot, Bring your right hand to your hip and twist. We're finding this twist, once again, nice easy twist. Good, release your hands back down to your blocks or to your chair. We're going to release the back heel down to the floor. Bring your left hand to your hip and start to straighten your right leg. We're preparing for triangle. So if you're using your block, my right hand is still on my block or my right hand is on the chair. Start to roll your left shoulder open and float your left arm up. So both legs are straight here. But Terry, bring your block onto your mat and turn it up to its highest setting. Yes. So we might be here. Okay, so we're opened up into triangle. Hand is on the block or on the chair. On your inhale, sweep your left arm towards the front of your mat. Exhale, open the arm up. Good, inhale, reach. Exhale, open, hand can be on the chair here. Inhale, reach. Good, exhale, open, hold. Maybe you float the right arm up and then press into the earth, reverse your pose. Right arm lifts up. Good, big stretch here into the right side of the body. And then we windmill the arms down to the floor or to your chair. Find your flow. Maybe you come into downward facing dog. Maybe you come through vinyasa. Good, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Or child's pose. Okay, guys, we got one more side before we start to turn down the volume a little bit. So if you're in your dog pose or your child's pose, come on up to dog. And this time you're floating the left leg up, reach it straight back behind you, lift it high, bend the knee, open the hip. We'll square the hip, and on an exhale, step the left foot forward, find your lunge, settle into your lunge. We've got that twist first. Remember, if you're getting tired and you want to take a little bit of a gentler practice here, the back knee can always be down when we're doing our lunges, even if we're twisting. Good, bring your hand to the inside of the left foot or your block. Left hand comes to the hip and twist. So if I'm in the chair, I've just got my hand on the top of the chair and maybe I open up the left arm. So find what works best for you. Remember, the back knee can be down even when you're twisting. Good, come out of the twist, preparing for triangle pose. Release your back heel down to the floor. Now, if you can't get your back heel all the way down to the floor, walk it in a little bit. Make your stance not as wide. Good. Keeping your left hand on the floor to your block, bring your right hand to your hip. I'm going to start to straighten my left leg. Maybe bring my block to its highest setting. The block on the outside of the left foot. Bring it right to the inside. Yeah, that's it, Terry. Or my hand is on my chair, start to open up the heart and float the right arm up. Good, so Terry, walk your back foot in a lot towards the front of your mat so that your right heel can be flat on the floor. That's gonna help with your balance, yes. And separate your left, bring your left foot out to the left even more towards the outside of your mat, yes. Your balance will feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Good, that's beautiful, lovely. Inhale here, exhale, sweep the right arm overhead, extend towards the front of your mat or towards your chair. Exhale, open it up. Good, 2 more yogis. Inhale. Exhale. Good, last one. Inhale, reach. Hold here, optional. Maybe float the left arm up. Press into the earth, reverse. Good, float the left arm up. And then we'll windmill the arms down to the floor. Find your flow. We're gonna meet on our bellies, guys. So take your flow or skip the flow, come all the way down and rest on your bellies. Nice work. Eventually making your way all the way down onto the floor. Resting your whole body on the floor. No. You're resting on your belly.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do a belly back bend.
Yeah.
You guys know I love belly back. Belly back bends, you should do them every day. So good for your low back, so good for your spine. Just come onto the floor and rest. We're resting. We're not doing anything. Relax. Good. Yes. Settle your breath. Settle your mind. Lovely. Good, bringing the back of your hands to your sacrum, palms facing up towards the ceiling. If you're working from your chair and you're not on the floor, you're just sitting in your chair with the backs of the hands on the sacrum. Relax your shoulders, whether you're on the floor or not. Tops of your feet stay into the floor. Soles of the feet stay into the floor. As you inhale, lift the heart. Start to look up if you're sitting on the chair. You're feeling a nice arch into the spine. You're on the floor, shoulder blades draw down the back. Exhale, soften towards the floor or come back to neutral. Maybe a little bit of a release if you're sitting in the chair with the head. Good, inhale, lift up. Using the spine to lift the heart, lift the shoulders and the head. Shoulder blades come onto the back of the body. Exhale and soften. So you're not using your arms to lift. Let's just do 2 more. On this last one, if you want to come into full locust, you release the hands, reach them straight back behind you, legs float up. If you're in the chair, maybe you reach back and hold the chair and take that back bend a little bit deeper. Lovely, good. When you're ready to release, slowly come all the way down. If you're in your chair, you can come into your forward fold Balasana. Take your time getting down there. Don't rush it. It's a big back bend to a big forward bend. Those of you guys that are on the floor, if your head's turned in one direction, turn it the other way and rest. We're all going to meet in Balasana, child's pose. So maybe find a downward facing dog first. Take a few breaths there before releasing into Balasana, child's pose. Good. From your child's pose, slide your palms under your shoulders, press into your hands to sit yourself up. And we're going to come onto our backs. If you'd like, you can place a blanket underneath your head. We're going to be on the floor here for the rest of our practice.
Yay.
Jerry says, yay. I had like 5 other things to do and I got sidetracked. So you just consider yourself lucky.
Oh, really?
Good, so let your body just rest on the floor here, guys. So once again, kind of coming back to where we started. Take a few breaths here and let your whole back body spread out on the floor. Knees bent, feet on the floor. We're going to come back to that stretch that we did at the beginning of our practice. Draw both knees into the heart, hug your knees in, and then maybe do some knee circles in one direction. And then take it to the other direction. Draw your right knee in, let the left leg extend along the floor. This should look familiar. We did this at the beginning of our practice. I'm just doing a little pulse here of the right knee in towards the body on exhale. Notice if this is opened up a little bit for you. Good, we're going to straighten the leg once again and find that little crunch, whether the head stays on the floor or not, it's your choice. On an exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, lift. Inhale and soften. Hand stays on the leg wherever it lands. Exhale. Draw it in. Last one, exhale, draw it in. Good. Start to bend the knee into the heart. We're going to come into a variation of Supta Padangusthasana. Optional here, you can keep the knee where it is or reach to the inside of your right leg and with your peace fingers find your big toe. Draw the knee into the heart, keep it tucked into the heart, and now straighten the leg. So we do this usually with the strap. If you can't do this with the foot, you can keep the knee bent, or you can just hold on to any part of your leg. If you've got the toe, try to straighten the leg, reach through your heel, relax, bring your left arm out to the side, and open up to the right. So just come to where it's comfortable for you. It might just be 2 inches. You can also keep the knee into the heart center and just open the knee up. That's another, yes, that's it. Good, Dave. So you're still getting the stretch, right? Good, take another breath or 2 here. Really feel expansion through the chest, broaden through your collarbones, soften through the front of your body. We're unwinding here. We're not bringing tension in. Good. Inhale, draw the leg back up. Release the foot, draw the knee into the heart. Switch legs. Draw both knees in. Extend your right leg along the floor. Here comes this series on the other side. A little pulse or 2 here, just feeling the hip. Noticing any changes from our practice, from the beginning of our class. And now extending the left leg up towards the ceiling. Here comes our 3 crunches. Inhale, exhale, draw it in. On the inhale, soften. 1, 2 more. Exhale. Last one, draw it in. Bring the knee in. And maybe we go for the big toe. If you're going for the big toe, your arm is on the inside of the left leg. You're letting the knee wing out a little bit. And then start to straighten. So I can't fully straighten on this side. I'm going to keep my knee bent. Bring your right arm out to the side, into a T position, and slowly start to open up to the left. Keep reaching through your right foot. Find your best expression of Supta Padangusthasana. 2, hand to big toe pose, second variation, and breathe. 2 more breaths. Expand through the heart. Again, you can keep the knee bent and just open up through the knee. You don't have to straighten the leg. Good, bring it back up to center. Both knees come into heart center. And let's just come into an easy twist. Bring your arms out into a T. Let your legs drop over to the right. And just breathe. Let it go. When you're ready to switch, come back to center. Maybe give yourself another little hug here. And then we'll take it over to the left. Make sure you let the legs go, let the knees go. No abs here. Good. You feel complete on this side. Slowly unwinding, coming back up. And we'll start to make our way into Shavasana relaxation. Doing whatever you need to do to get yourself comfortable. Maybe you have another pose or 2 in your practice that will help you to unwind. Make sure you're warm. If you're laying flat on your back, might be nice to have support under your knees. If you're using a chair, you might be nice to bring your legs up onto the chair. You're going to make everybody jealous if you do that. Dave, can you close that door? Thanks. Thank you. Keep swallowing now so your soft palate releases back. Letting your jaw release from behind your ears so that your teeth gently part and lay down.
Huh? Oh, stay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Tongue resting in the bottom of your mouth. Feeling the insides of your cheeks release away from your teeth away from your gums. Whole mouth is soft and open. Whole mouth releases, relaxes, just let it go. We'll bring our awareness back into the belly once again. Maybe even placing the hands on the belly if that feels right for your body. Feeling the belly expand and rise as you inhale. The belly soften and fall as you exhale. And you'll just stay with this awareness. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. If your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the natural flow of the breath, of the belly. Remember your breath. Gently letting the awareness of the belly, the movement of the belly, release and let your breath just breathe itself. Let it travel where it wants to go. Perhaps beginning to stretch through fingers and toes as if waking from a restful sleep, or if the impulse is to remain still, then do so. And only when you feel ready, bending your knees, placing your feet onto the floor, coming onto your side to rest. Take your time. There's no hurry. Make sure as you come onto your side that you support your head with your arm or your blanket. Just letting your belly be nice and soft here. Eventually using the strength of your arms to come to a comfortable seat. It's taking that sense of peace and quiet with us from our Shavasana to a more upright and wakeful pose so that we can take that peace with us as we move off our mat and into the world. Bringing palms together over heart center. Let's bow together towards each other, towards our hearts. Beautiful work this morning, yogis. Great practice. Namaste. If you'd like, you can unmute yourself and we can namaste out. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, Jen. Namaste.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Thank you, Joan. It was great.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great weekend, guys.